March to October is dead, and it is not coming back on MLB The Show 26. As they'd been marketing the game, releasing trailers, releasing, the store listings and all that, there was never any mention of March to October. Then as we got further along, there were some screenshots and trailer portions with the main menu on it where March to October usually was, and it wasn't there. And then on the franchise feature premiere stream, they officially said March to October is not coming back in MLB The Show 26.
As we're simming, I do want to, some people are asking about March to October. Streamlined franchise is essentially going to be your way of having an MTO-like feature in the game. Right. It's going to be a little less of a in the weeds as your normal franchise. It'll be completely customizable. You'll be able to pick when you want to go into games and do things. Anything else you want to add there, Travis?
March, October is not coming back.
And obviously this news is significant to me because my channel is kind of built on March to October, built around it at least. All the way back when they put the mode in the game in MLB 19, that was when I first started posting it, and that was really the first thing on my channel that got any sort of viewership, any sort of traction. So because of that, and because we got the news officially now, I just wanted to make a little video, different type of video than I normally make, just talking about it, talking about the mode. So first things first, in that feature premiere live stream, they did kind of try to make it seem at least like they're somewhat replacing March to October. They're adding in a new way to play franchise, I guess, or a new way to start it. They're calling it streamlined franchise. But all it really seems to be is just a settings preset. So it's a preset custom game entry requirements and preset on what you manage and what's automated and stuff like that. They kind of said it was set up in a way to, I guess, as closely resemble March to October as they could in franchise, but it's not March to October at all. It's literally just franchise with certain settings turned on by default, and you can go in and change those settings on your own. It's not like March to October actually was, where you're locked in to everything being automated that was automated.
Listen, it's an MTO-like experience. Right?
Yeah.
Essentially, we default you to, and we'll show you in here. We default your CGE settings, your custom game entry settings, so that but you can customize it. But we default it to something that'll give you an experience similar to March October. We set up your tasks. Timing. So you have tasks, scouting, trades, and free agency. Those are set to manual through streamlined. And again, that's what you controlled in March October.
Right.
Right. The only difference here is you can customize it. So it's almost like it's March, October, but it's a level of customization that's beyond March, October.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So we had some of our resources were dealing with March, October. Some of our resources were dealing with franchise. Now we can focus all of our resources on the franchise and still give you an experience very similar to March, October.
And my first impression of that is that doesn't really appeal to me personally as a March to October replacement. If I'm playing franchise mode, I just want to play franchise mode. I want to be in control of everything I want to be in control of. You know what I mean? But that's where I think March to October was special, and it had its own, I guess, path, you could say, for what it was and what it should have and could have been. It was fun as a mode where you can play as, your favorite team or whatever team you wanted to play as, and have what you're playing actually matter for when you're simulating. Because, if you win one of the moments that it loads you into, you get momentum. That momentum translates into wins. So then when you're simulating games, you're winning or losing based on what you did in your moment. So it's a streamlined way to get through a season, but you have more of an impact on it than you would in franchise mode. And that was fun. It was a fun way to get through a season. You're kind of on the rails. So it's not necessarily up to you to decide arbitrarily what games you want to play or what moments you want to load yourself into. It was this is what you're doing. Go in, play it. If you win, your team will do better. If you lose, it'll do worse. But I do think all in all, for what the mode kind of became, I can't even sit here and say that I'm super disappointed that it's leaving. Obviously I'm disappointed in that I won't get to make a March to October series next year. I mean, that was kind of always an easy thing to do right away. It was start up a March to October and pump out some episodes early on. But I don't know, to me the writing was kind of on the wall in MLB 25 that it was kind of on its last legs. I mean, it was always something that was connected to Diamond Dynasty, which it didn't need to be. But it always was. It was connected to team affinities. It was connected to earning team affinity rewards, XP, stuff like that. And then this last year on MLB 25, they disconnected it from team affinities, but it was still connected to Diamond Dynasty in like the loosest way possible. There was a program and you could earn like 20 packs. So to me, that was kind of like, all right. They removed it from its main Diamond Dynasty like integration, getting rid of it from Team Affinity, but like they also didn't want to make it be its own standalone thing. They still kept it tied to Diamond Dynasty. So it was like, I don't think they really have any more plans to make any changes to it, to have it stand on its own. So I guess in a way, I was almost like prepared for this news for a year, really. But I do want to talk a little bit about where I think it went wrong and why I don't think it ever like caught on, because I think it was 22, when MLB 22 came out, that was the first year that they let you play multiple seasons of March to October, which was fun at the time. It was like, oh, this is something new for March to October. But looking back, I think that was kind of what set it down the wrong path, because from that point on, it was really just franchise light. And in my experience of then playing multiple seasons of March to Octobers for a couple years of MLB The Show, kind of like the further you got into your March to October, like the more years you played, the more problems there tended to be. And a lot of that came down to, you know, just everything being automated, the whole roster automation, decisions being made for you and stuff like that, which again, for a mode like March to October that's necessary. It's just playing multiple seasons that way, I feel like it doesn't really mesh. And a lot of times for me, that was things like certain prospects I'd want called up, but you couldn't call them up unless the CPU prompted you to. There's a lot of roster issues with like minor league options, and like if a player had their minor league options used up, you had no way to replace them on your team. So they could be like a 52 overall stuck on your major league team. And when you upgraded, when you made a trade, made a signing or something, that 52 overall stayed on the roster and somebody better got demoted. And then the biggest thing, just now that I'm thinking of things, the biggest thing that ever happened was MLB The Show 24, White Sox March to October. I had the 4th overall pick in year 1. So obviously I drafted a pick that I was excited for, spent a couple years in my minor league system. He was developing. And then I think it was like at the start of year 4 or 5, he was just gone. Like he was off my team, on a different team. I had no say in it. And it was like, okay, man, what are we doing here? What's the point of trying to treat March to October like franchise when maybe the biggest piece when you're trying to rebuild a bad team, that first high overall draft pick just got taken from me? So what I think it really should have stayed as, I think March to October really should have stayed as just a single season kind of like challenge mode. Pick whatever team you want, try and win the World Series with them in the year that the game comes out, obviously. And I always thought it needed to be disconnected from Diamond Dynasty, because that would have opened up so many more things you could have done. You could have added the ability to customize your roster. You could have messed around with player overalls. You could have messed around with the frequency that you got into games. Like if you wanted to play in more games or play in less games or skip a game. If there was just a moment you didn't want to play, you could skip it. You couldn't do that when it was connected to Diamond Dynasty because it was all connected to getting rewards. So everybody had to have largely the same experience. You couldn't customize things. You couldn't artificially inflate players' overalls if you wanted to. You couldn't artificially deflate. You couldn't skip moments. You couldn't add moments because everybody had to have generally the same experience because it was tied to getting rewards in Diamond Dynasty. So really, if you think about it, in a way, the writing's been on the wall for March to October to be done for years, not just for last year, but like ever since they made it less its own thing and more, like I said, franchise light, that kind of stripped away what March to October was, I think. So again, as I say, I can't even feel that disappointed it's gone. I mean, I'm disappointed in the fact that they took something out of the game because it's always frustrating when any game, especially a yearly game, is taking things out. I mean, that's like one of the main things, especially in sports games, where it's like you look at things that were in the game years ago, like on the PlayStation 2, and then you look at the game now and it's not in the game anymore, and it's like, we're in the future, we're supposed to be progressing, why are we getting rid of things? And this is just another thing that's being gotten rid of, which sucks. But at the same time, there wasn't a whole lot to the mode anymore, and I think the biggest case in point there is the fact that I only played one season of March to October on my channel this year. I was nowhere near as into it as I normally am. It took me forever to finish the one season, to upload the videos, and then I didn't do anything else. But it is sad that it's gone. On a personal note for me, like I said, my channel's been built around it. It was the first thing that like gained any sort of viewership for me. If you look at like my channel's most popular videos, it's like that first episode of the last 6 years of March to October are my 6 most viewed videos on my channel. The only 6 videos to be over 5,000 views a piece. I think one thing I can actually say that I'm like proud of is if you like go on YouTube on a different account or like in a private tab or something, so there's no established algorithm, and you just type in the words March to October, it was usually my videos or my playlists that were the first result. And like, that's one of the 5 game modes on the homepage of MLB The Show. So it was just kind of cool that like, if you type in one of those 5 game modes onto YouTube, I'm the one that popped up. But at the same time, that might also go to show you why they don't have any problem getting rid of the mode when a channel that has not even 3,000 subscribers is like the #1 hit when you type in one of their 5 main game modes. So I don't know. I guess really the last thing I wanted to say is if you're somebody who was watching me play March to October, if you were watching me for years, if you just watched a few, thanks for watching. I hope you stick around. I have plenty more other ideas that I want to do to start next year's game. So honestly, not having March to October doesn't like affect my plans too much. I did have some plans I was a little excited for if March to October was still in the game, but obviously it's not. And maybe in a way, content-wise, this could be a good thing for me. It could push me into doing some new things instead of just doing the same thing over and over. Maybe it'll finally push me into figuring out a good way to make franchise content. I don't know. But one last thing I'm kind of thinking of, I do want to once again try and get into live streaming on MLB 26, and I kind of want to get some streams in before 26 comes out just to like refamiliarize myself with it, I guess. So if you're interested in me doing maybe like one final March to October on stream, I'd probably just use the White Sox for old time's sake. Let me know. I'll try and plan that. I know we've only got like 2 weeks until the game comes out now, but it shouldn't take more than like 3 or 4 streams to get through one more season, one final season of March to October. So again, if that's something you want to see, let me know. But yeah, I guess that's it for this one. I just kind of wanted to ramble a little bit about March to October since it's not going to be a thing anymore, and I kind of feel like the March to October guy. But thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Next episode of the White Sox franchise should be coming out soon, so I will see you then.